Well, good morning, guys. You too, Kaylin, because you're probably the only woman watching this. So we're out here. We need to try and get some stuff done. We need to get the seal changed in the timing cover because we put the wrong one in. Got new lifters. They're Crowler Cool Face lifters. We need to get those swapped out, get the other ones out of there. We bought a new thermostat because after watching a lot of the Power Tour and stuff like that videos, guys are constantly overheating. And since I plan on driving this thing on the street at some point, maybe not immediately, but before the year's over, I want to make sure it doesn't get hot. So I've had a 180, it's got a 180 thermostat in it right now. I bought a 160 and it's a fail-safe. I don't know, I figured it was worth a shot. It says if they're supposed to, if they fail, they stick open instead of stick closed. I figured it was worth the extra couple of bucks to try it. So we'll see. Bought a new thermostat housing just because, well, you know, it was like $13. It was an Amazon Prime thing, and it's black chrome, as they call it. It doesn't look very chrome, but it's kind of a nice looking piece. And it's an O-ring seal instead of a gasket. All of my Cleveland ones were O-ring, and I seem to have pretty good luck with them. So I figured we'll give that a shot. New oil pump drive shaft. I'm glad I bought it because I compared the length of it to the ones that I had, and that one's shorter. And I know it's for the right one. So we would have had a problem. So we've got the right one. Got the right oil pump drive shaft, lifters, thermostat housing, new seal. It's supposed to rain today, so we need to try and get some stuff done before it rains. All right, let's get to work. So some folks might be wondering why I painted the intake black. Well, it was already black when I got it. It was already painted black when I got it. I tried to clean it up a little, and there was like some staining on the paint, so it didn't look very good. And unfortunately, nowadays, machine shops, they don't have a hot tank. They have a parts cleaner, which isn't the same thing. So even if they would have put this in the tank, even if they'd have put this in their parts cleaner, it would have come out and it still would have had all the paint left on it. It just wouldn't have had any grease or dirt. And even then, that's questionable. I guess the EPA put a kibosh on all of that, and so the parts cleaners can't get crap clean. I wasn't going to buy $100 worth of carb cleaner, hosing the thing down to hopefully get all the paint off of it. And I wasn't going to sandblast it. So the easiest solution was just repaint it. All right, seal's been changed. That was a little tricky to get it out of there. Just for the record, do not put a 351 Cleveland crank seal in a Windsor timing cover. Bad, no good. I had to shoot a little paint on it because I kind of beat it up a little bit trying to get that out of there. Got the new thermostat and thermostat housing put on. It looks all right. I don't like the fact that there's like bare metal showing there, but I guess I could pull it off of there and shoot a little paint on it, but yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe I'd take it off of there and just put a little paint on it with a brush instead of spraying. I don't know. We'll figure it out. For those of you that are maybe wondering why I'm changing lifters, spent $200 to put new lifters on an old camshaft that's already been broke in. Well, here. See that shadowing? That's where there was some surface rust on those. And that's just one side. I just got one bank done. So yeah, when I first put them in there, I was okay with it. And then the more I thought about it, I was not okay with it. I got worried. got worried it would wipe the camshaft out and ruin the cam. Then I have to buy new springs so that I can put the hydraulic cam that I've got on the shelf in there in the motor and flush the whole thing out, maybe take it out to take it apart to flush it out. And I just thought, you know, it's not worth it. So we'll put new lifters in it. And then if it still wipes the cam, it still wipes the cam, but at least we tried, you know. I'll feel better about that than running those and having it wipe the cam and then, you know, in hindsight be like, well, I should have put lifters in it. Got the other side out. As you can see, there's a few of them that were a little less than optimum as well. I don't know if the camera picks it up real well, but try to move this around a little so you can kind of see. But yeah, that's just made me nervous, so we changed them. But here's where we are. Intake's on, lifters are all changed. Let's back up. Lifters are changed, intake's on, it's bolted down. I need to do something about the bolts. It's got a mishmash of bolts on it. I don't really like that. I changed the seal in the front of the crank. No, that's not right. That's not right. I changed the seal in the front of the timing cover. That's right. All right. Thermostat has been changed. It's got a 160 in it now. Put the new housing on it. I like the way that one looks better. I cleaned up the balancer, put some paint on it. I need to get it put away because, well, you can see there's a couple of little raindrops on it. Got the alternator mount bracket that bolts to the head. I don't know what the hell you call it. I don't know anything about Windsors. Well, I know this much about Windsors. Anyway, I got that bracket painted, cleaned up. That's the one that bolts to the head so that the alternator, I think it goes into this hole, or I don't know which hole it goes in. We'll figure it out when we get it on there. I'd really like to buy a CFV serpentine pulley setup for the front of it. So it comes with an alternator bracket. I mean, that's all this thing's got. It's just got an alternator on it. But it's 300 and some bucks. Like I said, so that's done. None of the lash is set yet, but intake is bolted down. None of this stuff is tight, so we need to put some thread sealant on it and tighten it up. But we're probably going to have to do something about them bolts because those just they don't look great. But it's what I had that fit, so that's what we used. So right now we are leaning towards dropping this in the car with the 8-inch converter. It's a dynamic in 471 gear with a spool. I've got a buddy that said he'll sell me a set of his used 28 by 10.5 radials. He said he'd sell them to me for 50 bucks. I can't beat that. So I really think we're leaning towards dropping it in the car as everything is and seeing how it runs. Seeing how it compares to the motor that was previously in the car with that setup. The motor that was in the car was a 30 over 351 Windsor. It was like 10 or 10.5 to 1 compression. Ran on 93 octane. Had ported 1970 cylinder heads on it. Had bigger valves and ported. And they were ported really well. Victor Jr. intake. The same headers that I'm going to put on the car. Same gear. Same converter. Same size tire in the back. The same camshaft, literally the same camshaft that's in that motor right now, which is 242, 246 at 50 on a 106, 540, 520 lift. Comp listed as a circle track cam with a flat power band, and it's a pretty flat power band. It works pretty good. That combo in my red car ran a lot of mid 760s. It got into the high 750s, and then really good air, it ran some high 740s. but this time of the year, it was a mid to low 760 combination. I know by today's standards, with the stuff that you can buy off of the lot, that's not real fast, but for using old iron like that, that run pretty good. We shifted it at like 6 or 62 maybe. Foot brake, you know, it would run 762 to like 767, was like a pretty safe area that car would generally going to run every week when you unloaded it. So this motor, this one that I've been messing with, same camshaft, 242, 246 at 50, solid flat tappet. The AFR heads, which although those factory iron heads flowed really well for factory iron, these flow better. I mean, that's just how that goes. This is only 9 1/4-ish. Hopefully, it might be between 9.1 and 9 1/4, somewhere in there. Standard bore, so it's 351 inches, and an RPM air gap intake. I'll run the same carburetor on both, 750 double pumper. I think the lack of the full point less compression in the dual plane intake, I think it might go 770s, even though it's got better cylinder heads, or maybe it'll run 760s just because of the better cylinder heads. But I think the dual plane intake and the full point less compression will be what makes it not run as quick. I mean, it might surprise me. I mean, but that's why I want to run it. I want to see what it'll do. I mean, because we had a couple hundred passes on that other combination. We knew exactly what it was going to do. So, you know, curiosity is what killed the cat, and, you know, it might be fixing to kill something besides a cat. That might about do it for today. Like I said, it's tried to rain on me a couple of times already, and makes it tough to get anything done if you're dodging in and out of rain. So we'll talk to you later. So that's probably going to be it for this episode, this video, this big show, this, yeah, whatever this crap is. Didn't get a lot done. Thought it was going to rain, so I quit, went in the house for a while, and then the sun came out, and then I thought about coming back outside, and then it clouded back up, and, you know, didn't get a lot done, but I did get a little bit done. And frankly, at this point, I'm just going to work on it when I feel like it, and I'm not in any hurry to get it running. I want to get it running, but I'm not going to rush, because I just don't have that much ambition. It will be running at some point. Hopefully by the end of August. I'd hope by the end of this month, but you know, keep running into little setbacks. That's probably not going to happen. It still might, but like I said, we're in no rush. We'll get it done when we get it done, and until then, it'll just sit right here, and we'll just keep slowly chipping away at it, and eventually we'll get it done, and then we'll put it in the car. So sounds like it started raining again. That's what happens when I come outside. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.